Okay, question number 2. I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Stop.
We want to get to a specific issue that has been submitted to the Debate Commission, wanting us to talk more about the federal government and its ruling in the case West Virginia versus EPA. The Supreme Court said that the EPA didn't have the authority to enforce coal emissions, and that the authority should come from a law yet to be created in Congress. Do you think this is the most effective system of government? And can Congress take on this task? And should they take on this task and pass even more very specific and granular laws? And we go to Mr. McMullen for this.
Well, look, I do think there's a role for the.
Okay, so the question's about EPA versus West Virginia, and should Congress be making these laws? Should the EPA be making these laws? And both Mr. McMullen and Mr. Lee talk about states' rights and that these problems are best solved at the state level. Now, first off, I want to clarify the federal government and the state government do not have rights. You, the individual, have rights. The federal government and the state government have powers, things that have been delegated to them in the Constitution, and their main focus should be enforcing laws that protect life, liberty, and property. To that effect, I do believe it is a right. We have a right to clean air, clean water, and clean soil. When a company, an industry, a corporation, or a government, a city, when they pollute, that is an act of aggression. And water, air, soil, these are public goods. You can privately own, water rights. You can privately own land, but that doesn't mean you have the freedom to just destroy and ravage those resources. It doesn't mean you have the freedom to dump things into the environment that will go elsewhere. It's all interconnected. And so in this specific case, I agree in the sense that Congress should be doing their job, as in this is a part of dysfunctional Congress. Congress should be doing their job in passing these laws that protect our right to clean air, water, and soil. If Congress is not going to do their job, then yeah, we've had all these agencies spring up, unelected bureaucracies that are appointed by presidents, and they're passing laws, and that is not the role of the executive wing of our government to create agencies that then create laws. Those laws should be coming from the legislative branch, okay? But I absolutely believe we have a right to clean air, water, and soil. Congress should be passing those laws. State legislatures should be passing those laws. The executive branches should be enforcing those laws. And the judicial branch should be ruling on the legality of said laws, okay? We shouldn't have unelected bureaucracies passing laws. But I absolutely think Congress has dropped the ball on this, is not doing their duty to protect our environment, because we are seeing 50%, for example, 50% of U.S. waterways are deemed unfit for human consumption or recreation due to high levels of toxic algae and other types of pollutants. And we've got to clean that up. Right here, I live and teach on the Navajo reservation. And one of the number one concerns that was brought up a few weeks ago at a political rally here from the constituents was the uranium tailings left over from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. All the mining that happened out here for uranium or to supply the arms race. All those leftover waste, the tailings, the sand from grinding up the ores and extracting it, very toxic, full of radioactive isotopes and other heavy metals, were just left here. Some of those sites have been kind of cleaned up and consolidated into holding sites like Halchita, just up the highway. But at the end of the day, no one has cleaned up these messes. The federal government hasn't, the state government hasn't, and the companies that made huge profits at the expense of workers who were not protected or told the risks of the work they were doing in these mines and these facilities. They haven't shouldered the responsibility, and that's a travesty, and we have to fix that. At the end of the day, the government needs to clean up and fix its mistakes, and protecting clean air, clean water, and clean soil should be one of our priorities.